Liz Cheney. And congratulations, folks. To me, I now remember her name. It's Liz Cheney, not Lynn Cheney. A lot of you get confused between Lynn and Liz Cheney. But Liz is the daughter. Lynn is the mother. And she lost her primary. And look, I'm going to repeat this. I think that she's been very effective on the January 6th committee. And I can't express enough that that is the very least that she owes this country. And not even, and I am one who does not believe that the fathers of the sin are adopted by the child. She's got her own huge line of sins. She threw her own sister under the bus to maintain her electability for this party in calling for and saying she was against marriage equality. Now, I know she's since changed her mind since it became a fait accompli.
Yeah.
In 2019, she was charging the Democrats with active promotion of killing babies after they're born. Not making that up. So everything she did on January 6th is the least she could do. And also, don't misunderstand. If she thought that she had a better option, she would have taken it. She would have taken it. And so here she is on Today, the MSN, or I should say NBC Today show. She lost her race big time. I am totally in favor of her being hired by the January 6th committee to continuing her work in the event that the Democrats control the House after January 20 of 2022. I am willing to bet you just about everything I own that she's probably going to have more lucrative offers, but she also doesn't need it, I would imagine. Anyways, I think that she, I think it's perfectly legitimate to say she's done a good job on January 6th, but all of this sort of like hagiography, like she's like the second coming of Abraham Lincoln and blah, blah, blah. Everything that she's dealing with, everything that cost her race, everything that she's dealing with in January 6th, she participated, and certainly more than most in the House, contributed to and developed, without a doubt. Here she is.
The former president said last night, you're now headed to political oblivion. You said this fight is just beginning. You've even launched a political organization already. So let's just be straight about it. Are you considering running for president yourself?
Well, what I'm going to do, Savannah, is spend the next several months completing my work in Congress, obviously completing my work representing the people of Wyoming. We have a tremendous amount of work left to do on the January 6th committee. And also, though, I'm going to be making sure that people all around this country understand the stakes of what we're facing, understand the extent to which we've now got one major political party, my party, which has really become a cult of personality. And we've got to get this party back to a place where we're embracing the values and the principles on which it was founded, and talking about, fundamental issues of civics, fundamental issues of what does it mean to be a constitutional republic.
But Congresswoman, you didn't answer me yes or no.
It takes to keep Donald Trump. I will be doing whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
Well, I know you didn't say yes or no, and that's fine if you're thinking about it. But are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
I want to say something right now. If anybody who's listening to the sound of my voice has a moment, all right, this is going to be extreme, so I'm going to say, if you have more than one moment, really even a moment, though, of thinking of supporting her candidacy. I mean, if she runs in the Republican primary, go to town.
Fun, yeah.
Fun. But if you think for a moment, can see myself voting for Lynn Cheney in the general election. This is what I want you to do. I want you to unsubscribe to the show. I want you to quit your membership if you're a member. I want you to, if there's a way to block our videos or audio or any of that, just forget you ever said, because if you do, it is literally like, I don't know. I've been trying to think of like what my kids could say to me that would make me feel like I should have never, ever, ever contemplated having children. Like, I think if someone listening to this program was to ever contemplate voting for Lynn Cheney for the presidency of this country, it would make me feel like I have wasted half of my adult life.
We got to check the mics.
Yeah. I just want to make that clear. Lynn Cheney or Liz Cheney, for that matter. You know, the other thing that occurs to me, I've never noticed this, and I know this is a little bit juvenile. She looks like Dick Cheney. Oh, yeah. I mean, like it's bizarre.
And she has a deportment like him too.
It is bizarre. Like I never noticed it before because I don't think I've ever had a reason to watch her like give an interview on television because why would I? I don't care. But she looks like Dick Cheney. I mean, honestly, it looks like one of those mashups on like on WhatsApp.
It's like face with the wig.
Seriously. If you were to swap in Dick Cheney's face, put that up there a second. This is juvenile, I get it. But if you were to swap in Dick Cheney's face, you know what the difference would be? Nothing.
Maybe
the glasses.
Yeah.
The glasses. All right.
Something to look out for, folks.
Apple cideritis. When Republicans eat their own, you say bon appetit and hope they choke on the bones. I think we actually literally did say that at one point. I hope they eat each other.
Oh, speaking of that, do we want to watch the Crowder responding to
DeSantis
with the Donald Trump Jr.?
Yes, I do. Let me just read this. Jonathan Armstead. Sam, you mentioned the show yesterday. I wrote in years ago and said that sitcom was huge for me as a tween. One of my inspirations to get into filmmaking and writing. Quick question. John Ridley and Larry Wilmore were writers on the show. That is correct. It was Wilmore, Ridley, Matt Wickline, John Bowman, who just recently passed away, sadly, were, I think, the main four writers. And Ridley won an Oscar for 12 Years a Slave, yes. Wilmore did the U.S. office and his own political talk show. Do you ever stay in touch with them? I was in touch with Ridley, I feel like 10 years ago, you know, which still was like 15 years after the show. And Wilmore, I feel like maybe I touch base with him every now and then. They're both super political and former Bill Maher guests. It could be better Friday, I guess, on MR. Yeah, I mean, that could be fun. Ridley, you're not going to like his politics. I don't think. Bumper racist. Lost her primary now, gained a gig at MSNBC. I just don't think that Cheney's going to end up on MSNBC. And that's not, I'm sure they would take her if she would do it. I just think that, like, that's too hard to work. Like, she's not going to want to have to, she can go on whenever she wants. She doesn't need the money.
Yeah, it dilutes the impact, I feel like.
Yep.